Hello everybody, I'm Tad and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. Today, excuse me, I'm probably going to have to cut out a bunch of these coughing fits. I'm under the weather. I've got either a horrible cold or I'm really having issues with the pollen that is crazy in Florida right now. You know, when I was younger, I never had these problems. With pollen and, respiratory things. But as I get older, I seem to have more and more problems with them. So I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. I'm sure you don't want to listen to my voice, but this is my special read-along of Saga with Graz and his channel, the GKBC. We're finally on book 2 of the series. So as we've been going every 2 weeks, we do a little review on 6 chapters or 6 issues. So starting in book 2, we're on issues 19 and we're reading, 6. So we're 19 through 24. All right. So unfortunately, I don't know any other way of talking about comic books really. Without doing a lot of spoilers. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, tune out. You don't watch. But yeah, as if you've been watching any of these videos on Saga that Graz and I have been doing, you'll notice that we both are really digging this. So as you know, Saga is written by Brian K. Vaughan and is illustrated by Fiona Staples. I love it. Let's just kind of talk about it a little bit, where we're standing at with issues 19 through 24. So when you first open up the book, you're met with a very up close view of a woman giving birth to a baby with a television head. Yes, it's Princess Robot, the wife of Prince Robot IV, is finally giving birth to their child. And you're up and close and personal. The bubble, the caption bubble says, "One last push," as the head appears. A lot of the images in this book are not safe for work, so I'm not going to show that one to you. So finally, Prince Robot 4 has had a child. But where is he? He's not here. He's not at the palace. He's not with her. After the delivery, we go out into the hallway and we see that there's a janitor out there cleaning, and one of the midwives says, "Hey, you got to go in there and clean up the mess." And so we meet a new character in the saga. And his name's Dango. He's, of course, a robot head as well, or a TV head as well. But he's a commoner. So his television head is like an old-fashioned knob-turning 1970s black and white TV, because he's a commoner, he's a janitor, but he becomes important in the story, so let's not forget about Dango. But as we've talked about before, this comic book series is, in my opinion, a beautiful chaos. It just is all over the place. So we're going to be all over the place as well. So next we'll go on to Marco. Now, Marco and Hazel are playing in a playground. Of course, Marco is wearing these stupid, like ace bandages around his face to try to disguise him. But of course, you can see his full horns and everything. But he's got baby Hazel's wings strapped down, so nobody can tell that she's a mixed race or that she is a wing, because the planet that they're staying on sympathizes with the horns. and most of the people there. So he wants to keep that undercover, and of course they're still on the run and all that. So we see that. Now, then we jump to Alana, his wife, of course. Alana now is trying to support the family. They still need to eat, right? They still need to buy groceries and stuff. So she's working as an actress for the Open Circuit. It's called the Open Circuit. It's kind of like, I don't know if you all remember back in the day, you probably don't, SCTV. It's like a troupe of actors, comedy actors or whatever. So they're called The Circuit, and she's one of the actresses in this web series, television series. And she's not doing too good. She's not really into it. I think she thinks it's inane, and she doesn't really get the whole thing about television just being mindless entertainment. She thinks everything should be meaningful, of course. That's Alana. But so she's not doing too good. She almost gets fired, but one of the other members of the troupe, not really an actor, I think more of maybe a script writer, and she does other things, cleans, and just a member of the troupe, but not on TV, actually, kind of saves her job because she name drops, Oswald Heist, who wrote the book that everybody's going crazy about. So I'm trying to be a little bit vague in each episode. I don't want to give too much away. But at the end of this chapter, our amazing narrative, which runs throughout the whole series through the voice of Hazel, says, this is how my parents split up. Dun, dun, dun. Oh no, Alana and Marco are going to split up. What's going to happen now? So that's the end of chapter 19. Interesting, jumping all around, meeting a couple new characters in the series, which happens all the time. All right, so now we're on to chapter 20. So there's these characters are crazy. It's awesome, but they're crazy. So there's this huge walrus named Friendo, and he's the pet now of baby Hazel. And he's now a family pet, but he's not potty trained, so he's wreaking some havoc in the tree ship, their spaceship that they live in that looks like a tree, of course. So there's some issues going on there. Then we jump to Prince Robot 4. He's on Sextillion. That's why he's not with his wife when she's giving birth. He's been on Sextillion for a while. Just getting what he can get, I guess, before his baby's born. The head of Sextillion says, oh, men do that all the time. I didn't, but who knows. But he's on Sextillion. So we see him. He's getting pleasured. Then we jump back to Alana and the circuit. And now we meet Yuma. Yuma is another spider lady. Kind of, everybody's different. Everybody's sentient. All the animals seem to be some type level of sentience in these worlds. So this lady's a green spider-shaped woman, and her name's Yuma. So that's the one that we just met. That is not really an actor in the circuit, but she's part of the team. And we find out that she's also a drug dealer. She deals this drug called Fade Away. And she's she basically had just saved Alana's job. And Alana's like, I don't know, I can't understand this crap and blah, blah, blah. Yuma says, hey, why don't you just take some drugs like everybody else does? Pretty much everybody else on the show is doing it. And she's like, really? What is it? And she says, Fade Away. Oh, well, okay. So now Yuma's a drug pusher. She gives Alana this drug, Fade Away. So now Alana starts taking Fade Away. And eventually you'll see she actually loosens up and she starts doing better at her job. Okay, so more not safe for work scenes. She goes home. She's now high. She and Marco get together. You know, I can't show you those pictures, of course. Then we move ahead a little bit. Now, here's the problem. Because Alana's working, she is feeling, I think, a little bit superior in the relationship. I'm bringing home the money. I'm bringing home the bread. You know, I'm feeding the family. I'm taking care of the family. What are you doing? Well, I'm taking care of Hazel all day. So Marco is starting to feel a little down, a little depressed about that. But he loves Hazel. He keeps taking her to this playground where, of course, they meet another young, beautiful woman. Her name is Ginny, and she has a dancing school. So they start bonding over watching the kids play in the playground, and she comments about how Hazel is fearless and maybe she should come over and join in her dancing classes. And so now you can see there's starting to be this development of a relationship between Marco and Ginny. Ooh, foreshadowing. Is that going to be what Hazel was talking about? This is how my parents split? Maybe. All right, fast forward. Get past that. Remember Dango, the commoner, the old-fashioned TV head, the janitor? Well, he doesn't want to be a commoner anymore. He doesn't want to be suppressed anymore. So he takes some actions and pretty much kidnaps Prince. What's he going to be? Prince 5? The baby of course, Prince Robot 4. And pretty much murders everybody in the palace and kidnaps the kid. Yeah. So, now we're on to chapter 21. Took some notes. Have to take some notes. Alright, so now we're back to Alana. Alana's now just getting hooked. She's becoming... Man, this book is heavy. She's becoming a drug addict, but it's making her a much better actor. She got a raise. She's happy. Woohoo! Oh, Marco is now even getting closer to Ginny and is bringing Hazel to Ginny's dance school, and now Ginny's becoming closer and closer to Marco. Ginny's married, and Marco's married, but Ginny's husband's like a workaholic. He's never there. He's always away. So she pretty much is like, hey, you know, when in the, what is it? What's the saying? When the cats are away, the mice will play kind of thing. She's very interested in Marco. Marco's trying to, you know, he's got a family. I'm in love with my wife. Which, good for him. Finally, we go back to Sextillion, and Prince Robot 4 gets told that his wife has been killed and his baby son has been kidnapped. His first words are, I have a son? Didn't say anything about his wife, but I have a son? Oh my God. But he freaks out now. He goes ballistic and does some damage on Sextillion. He's got to get back home now, suddenly. Oh my God. So the last part of that chapter, chapter 21, he says, I've got to go see King Robot. His father is the king of the robots. So that's the end of that chapter. Boom. Now we're back on to chapter 22. I'm telling you, we're all over the place. Beautiful chaos. Chapter 22. So this, I'm going to show you this one because this is about the safest thing I can show you in this book, but it's freaking awesome. So here's a picture of King Robot. This is Prince Robot 4's father. I hope you can see this. His head is a huge, gigantic flat screen TV. So I guess depending on your status, it will tell you how big your TV is on your head. But that's King Robot. Oh my gosh, it's pretty. You know what? I'm gonna put this book down. Whew, it's too heavy, killing me. So Prince Robot 4 goes and talks to his father, King Robot. And King Robot is not having any of it. King Robot talks about how great his other son, who got killed in the war, was, and how Prince Robot 4 has been such a huge disappointment to the family, and he needs to get his act together, get his shit together, and he kind of grounds him, says, you got to go to your room. It's hilarious, but it's not. He's in pain. He's not gonna do that. He's gonna go look for his son. Now, flash to another scene. Alana's now done for the day. She's done a good job now. She got her raise. She's happy. She's coming home. And as she's getting a ride home, she actually runs into Marco, who's been grocery shopping. He's got a bag of groceries in his arms. And they pretty much stand in the middle of this road and have a huge blowout, a huge fight, which we could probably see coming. But eventually, Marco gets so pissed off, he throws his bag of groceries at Alana. Oh, not good. She flips out. She thinks that that's, of course, abuse, and kicks him out. You're gone, Marco. You're no longer welcome in our treehouse. Get out of here. She kicks him out. He stalks off because he doesn't want to. He knows that what he did was over the top. That just, that moment of seeing red. I mean, I'm sure he knew that the bag of groceries weren't going to hurt her, but still, it's an assault. He shouldn't have done it. He realizes that. So he puts his tail between his legs and he stalks off. Now we switch back over to Dango. Now we're with Dango. Dango now has somehow taken over a spaceship, pretty much killed everybody on it, while he's got this baby strapped around his chest, showing cartoons on his black and white screen to the baby, saying, just keep your eyes up here, while he's slaughtering people. Takes over the ship, and he thinks he's got an agenda. His son was killed in the war too, and he just thinks that people are being downtrodden, and he's going to change the way society sees people in his brain. But of course, that's how he's just rationalizing being able to kill whoever the hell he wants to kill. So he takes the ship. He's going to go to where the circuit is, the open circuit, because he wants to get on TV and, give his manifesto to the world, I guess. So he heads to the open circuit where they are on planet, where, of course, Marco and Alana, everybody is, right? So that ends chapter 22. We jump now to chapter 23, and what do you think happens? Where do you think Marco's gonna go now that he's got his tail between his legs and he's all butthurt and feeling depressed and lonely? Of course, he goes right to Ginny. He goes to Ginny's house, knocks on the door. Ginny, of course, comes to the door wearing nothing but let me look this up. So she's wearing a concert t-shirt and nothing else, of course. And the concert, on the front it says, The Mistook, which I think is pretty cool. I hope there's something else where we find out about this band, The Mistook, that apparently she's a fan of. She's got a concert t-shirt on. And of course she's standing, very sexy in the doorway. Oh, come on in, Marco. Oh, no, he starts talking about his problems, and she's sitting next to him, and yeah, they're getting too close. All right, so jump to Dango has now made his way to the planet that they're all on. And we switch back now to the treehouse. And Isabel, I know, Graz, Isabel is your favorite character, one of your favorite characters. She's basically, Isabel's becoming like the voice of reason. She's becoming like the adult in this whole messed up mixed family living in this tree spaceship. And she's becoming the voice of reason. She's becoming the adult. She is basically counseling Alana now, because Alana shook up because she kicked Marco out. And oh my gosh, what have I done? And Isabel tries to set her straight. But Alana just decides, you know what? F this. I'm just going to take some more drugs. So we see where that's going. Dango now is on the planet, and he's confronted. He's gone to the offices of the Open Circuit, and some of the actors, Yuma and some of the other ones, are coming out, and he confronts them. Pretty much it's a bloodbath. Yuma tries to talk some sense into him. He's saying, I just need to get on TV. You need to put me on TV, on the web. I'm going to, tell my story. And she's saying, nobody's going to care. Once you start, talking politics, everyone's going to just turn it off. Everyone's going to tune out. Nobody cares. So, okay, so he just blows her away. Let's go back now to Marco and Ginny. They're on the couch, getting closer, closer, closer. They're about ready to start kissing. Yep, he's going to do it. But as he's going to kiss her, he notices that there's a little stuffed animal on her counter that is Ginny's. And not Ginny's, Hazel's. And he knows that she can't sleep at night without this stuffed animal. And he goes, oh no, I've got to go take the stuffed animal to her. So he stops. He doesn't actually kiss her. He grabs the stuffed animal and walks out of Ginny's place. Almost, Marco. Almost. So he runs, as he's going back to the treehouse, he runs into Yuma, who is not dead. Yeah, she got shot pretty much point blank by Dango, but she's not dead. And so she's going to help him. Dango has made his way to the treehouse and has grabbed Hazel, and there's a big tussle and a fight, and now he's got the robot TV head baby like on a papoose around his, and he's got Hazel in his arm, and he's got a weapon. He's taking over the treehouse. Alana says, take off. And the treehouse takes off. As Marco and Yuma are walking up to the treehouse, and that's how they split up, I guess. The treehouse takes off. Marco's standing there, just looking at it, and then he hears a voice. He turns around, and guess who's there? Yep, Prince Robot 4 is now in the scene, because he's trying to find his son. Boom, boom, boom. That's the end of chapter 23. On to the final one of this segment, chapter 24. Thank you for staying with me. Yeah, so now this opens up with Sophie. I'm going to call her Sophie 1. Sophie 1 is the Will's sister. She's also a freelancer, a bounty hunter. And she now is meeting up. She's trying to find out some type of magic that can bring the Will back to life. He's not dead, but he's like in a coma. Wants to bring him back. She goes to the world where Oswald Griswold. Geez, sorry, Roz. Oswald. Jesus Christ. Oswald Heist, the author, lived. That's also where Marco and Alana got the big walrus Friendo. It's craziness, I'm telling you. So Sophie's there. She meets up. Now Gwendolyn, of course, is there with Sophie too. Sophie, the little girl that they rescued from Sextillion, that the Will rescued from Sextillion. She's no longer actually a little girl. She's starting to grow up. They all meet up. They talk to, oh, what's his name? Okay. They talk to Goose, who is this little, I don't know what he is. Looks like a hamster or something. He's a shepherd. He was shepherding these animals that, you know, are the big walruses that Friendo was one of them. Oh my gosh. They think now that they have some type of mental connection with their animals as a shepherd, so he can track Friendo to find out where the ship is. So, because of course they're looking for Marco and Alana. So we're coming to the end of chapter 24, and then right at the end of chapter 24, you have an image of Prince Robot 4 and Marco standing together. Yuma's with them, and now they're working together because they want to get their children. They want to save their children. So they're all going to try to use, I guess, Goose and his mental link with his animals to try to track down where the treehouse spaceship is going. Oh my gosh. It's just, again, it's beautiful chaos. I love it. Every time we need to meet a new character, it's cool. You don't know what they're going to look like. You don't know how they're going to act. It's irreverent. It's funny. It's very hyper-sexualized. It's everything you'd ever want in entertainment in a book form, a picture book form, and I'm still loving it. We're now through 24 issues, and it's still awesome. I'm loving how you have these, you're introduced every time to these new characters. A lot of times they're like the villain. They're the new villain of the week. This villain, but you're seeing that villains are villains to other people. They're not necessarily villains to themselves. They have their own agenda. They know what they're doing. It's not just that, you know, there's always, it's two sides of a coin. That's what we don't seem to realize. I think a lot in our society, you know, Americans, we think we're better than everybody else. We weren't raised this way. It's a great exposition on that, you know, everyone's different. Just because they look different than you, they speak different than you, they have a different culture than you, doesn't mean that they're evil or that they're bad, even though, because everybody does bad things. Everyone does things for a reason. And that's really what this is kind of exploring. And of course, just the different socioeconomical relationships that we run into in our lives. We just see humans, but could you imagine if everybody you saw, you assigned a different image to them, or, you know, it's a spider woman, or it's a talking mouse who's a medic, or, you know, a walrus that has psychological, what am I trying to say? Walruses that, you know, can speak telepathically with each other and with their shepherd, and now you're seeing everyone's got to start to work together now to meet their goals, and it's just like I said, beautiful chaos. I love it. I can't wait to see what Graz says about these 6 issues. They're as good as anything. I just can't show you a lot of the images just aren't safe for work. All right, guys, my throat's about done, and I still got another video to make. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry if my voice is not coming through clearly enough, but thank you for watching. I know a lot of people aren't watching this. There's a ton of videos out there about Saga. It's nothing new. I understand that, but it's something really fun that Graz and I are doing together. and I'm really enjoying it. So anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave comments, and as always, peace out.